Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Together we are the Office Blokes.
Yes.
It is true. That's all I've got to say about that.
Is indeed.
Yeah.
Anything exciting? Anything going on?
We've got Patreon, haven't we, Mike?
Got Patreon, yeah. Go to
What's
patreon.com.
We invented it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a new thing we've invented.
Right,
Yeah, I think from years ago that we invented.
Yeah,
no
you're
one else
right.
has done before.
Yeah.
We're doing full watch-alongs of the US Office on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock, and we're doing full watch-alongs of Family Guy at 5 o'clock on Saturdays UK time. You can get all that on Patreon for just £1.50 per month, believe it or not. Honestly, you get everything.
You've
all
definitely been
that.
practicing, haven't you?
That's just natural, mate.
Seemed it. Right then, Dubai Explained.
This will be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that alone, like what's...
Explain that.
That's not lips.
Wow.
That's a man.
That's a man.
I think so.
Jesus. Right, let's check it out. Apparently everyone in Dubai is male and has gigantic lips. On to this video. Dubai Explained, let's do it.
Dubai opens their arms to anyone.
I have nothing but good things to say about Dubai.
It's no longer the American dream, it's the Dubai dream.
Dubai, the shining beacon of our future as humans, the land of modernistic infrastructure, traditional values, and prosperity for all, or an artificial wasteland crawling with blatant corruption, desperate degenerates, more unpaid workers than America had in the 1860s, and mind-numbingly moronic infrastructure. Like, tell me why the city centre is literally Spaghetti Junction, bruv. Just come to Birmingham instead, man, I'm telling you. So I know this video might come across a bit critical and mean, so I'm going to start off by listing 5 things I like about Dubai.
Burger.
I don't know what most of those things were,
No.
if I'm being honest.
No, same.
If you know anything about Dubai, you probably think the main issues are its human rights violations or the terrible infrastructure or something along those lines. But I personally believe there's something a million times worse lurking in the shadows of this shiny dystopian city, that being cringe influencers. Now, I think some of these upper class, spoiled Dubai YouTubers must have spent as much time in school as the migrant workers' kids do, that being 0 hours, because they do not know anything of value. I mean, there's slop and then there's this.
We're back with another crazy video. Yes, today we're going to the world's most expensive perfume.
Another breed of Dubai influencers are the porta potties, okay? I can't really go into this one too deeply, both because of YouTube's guidelines and my mental health, but essentially we're talking female Instagram models, usually from poorer backgrounds, that flex that Dubai life, whilst behind the scenes they've been employed to commit some of the most disgusting, degenerate acts known to man. This is shocking.
Did we watch a video
We did.
on that at one point?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Where they do all kinds of like...
It's just like degrading them as much as
Correct.
possible, isn't it, for X amount. And
Yeah, not good.
I think there was like some of them weren't getting paid, were they? And they were just getting shipped back home. And
Yeah, they were offered like... like you said, the girl at the start, it's now become the Dubai dream. I'm not sure about that over the American dream.
Yeah.
I definitely doubt that.
because
but-
freedom and prosperity is like
Yeah.
the American dream, and the
Yeah.
freedom to be
big
who
part
you
of it.
were and achieve
Yeah,
your
yeah.
dreams. And
Yeah.
not
But I
sure.
think with a lot of these people that go to Dubai on the promise of you know, fame and richness sort of thing,
Yeah.
get very
Very disappointed.
very disappointed. Woke up pretty quick.
Yeah, I can
You're
imagine.
dealing with ridiculous wealth, aren't you, out there?
Not always.
I know not always,
a lot of
but
it's a lot
like,
of fake wealth.
but anyone who's going to be offering you 100k to be a porta
Yeah.
potty or
Oh, yeah,
whatever,
it's
like they probably wipe with that sort of money, don't they?
Yeah, it depends on what, you know. You're dealing with certain people who are very like you say, the promise of the money might be there, the actual money might not be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you going to go to? You're going to go to the authorities and say, who's supposed to pay me?
Because I'm a
Exactly.
hooker.
Yeah.
Shockingly common for a city that based alpha males like to claim has strict traditional values. Like, okay bro, I'm sure Sonia, who got flown out from Moldova in first class by some old oil-rich Emirati, is really in Dubai to uphold modest, sinless religious values. Yeah. Also, if we're talking like core religious values, it's funny how the entire point of charity and helping out the less fortunate completely flies out of the window when we're talking about migrant slums full of Nepalese workers, you know? It's also interesting that in the UAE, it's absolutely haram to drink wine or beer or whiskey, but when it comes to inhaling butane, now that's all good blood. I guess they really just love fossil fuels that much. And of course, I couldn't forget all the mainstream Western influencers who go to Dubai and get paid off by Daddy Zayed to showcase the blood money funded attractions in 4K. Honestly, I wouldn't care about this too much if these same exact celebrities didn't pretend like they're all progressive and forwards thinking and shit. For example, Will Smith and the YouTube channel Yes Theory, both staunch vocal supporters of the Black Lives Matter movement. Surely that means by principle they should be resolutely opposed to any form of slavery, since that's the root cause of this social issue they obviously care about. Well, take a look at this.
So I'm always in Dubai, but a friend of mine told me I had to check out this pool.
One of the most unique scuba diving experiences of your life.
They've both heavily promoted this pool on their large YouTube platforms. I do have a sneaky suspicion they might have been paid off by the tourism board, since they're...
He's got to keep himself busy while people bang his wife, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it's true what they say, isn't it? There's a lot of it's a bit similar to Jordan Henderson when he's gone to Saudi Arabia. You know, he's a staunch supporter of the LGBT.
Yeah.
And now he's gone to Saudi Arabia. And everyone's going like, well, what are you going there for then? If it's not against your beliefs, what they do and all that, is it because of money? And he's like, no, nothing to do with the money. So 850 grand a week or whatever he's getting.
Nothing to do with that. No.
Nothing to do with that.
Why not just say it's for the money?
Hey, you'd sort of like a bit more credibility, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've heard some of the things he said trying to get round it as well, and it's sort of like, come on, man. I mean, no one believes you.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Just say I'm not responsible for the views and opinions of my employers. And as a working person, I went for the best offer I had on the table at that time.
For $1 million a week or whatever he was on, close to £1 million a week he's on.
Exactly.
It's a lot of money.
They've linked the state-run YouTube channel, but I'm not going to throw out claims I can't completely substantiate. This attraction is meant to be the deepest pool in the world. Personally, I think shit looks tacky and artificial, a bit like the rest of Dubai. Will Smith's video has 25 million views, 1 million likes, okay? Imagine the amount of people he has brought into this silly pool, which on average costs 200 quid entry. We're talking big money generated for the owners of this establishment. So I thought I'd have a quick look at who owns and who built this pool. That's right, it's your boy Osama bin Laden's family's construction empire. Hey, yo, what the which now is owned by the Saudi Crown Prince. Hey, yo, what the alongside the pool, this colossal construction LLC is all
Bin Laden's family are billionaires, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a very reputable company as well in Saudi Arabia, the whole of the Middle East.
Yeah,
and I think they're even global now.
And they were before all the terror stuff as well.
Yeah, and he has nothing to do with them whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's like I said, the Bin Laden Construction Group. You see their logos everywhere on construction sites.
I think he sort of like excommunicated himself from the business and the family anyway, didn't he? I think. I might remember.
I think that's what I heard. They were. I don't think they were fundamentalist enough for him. So.
Yeah, correct.
Also responsible for ugly pieces of stupid shit such as the Dubai Frame, Al Faisalia Tower Riyadh, Global Village Dubai, Villas in the Sky Riyadh, even Kuala Lumpur Airport. My god, it's beautiful. But remember what I was saying about Will Smith and Yes Theory being resolutely completely opposed to the types of practices they were employing in cotton fields in America in the 1600s, right? Well, you wouldn't be able to guess the types of practices that Bin Laden construction is employing in the current day, could you? Here's an example to give you an idea. In 2017, a group of foreign workers, probably Nepalese or Bangladeshi, weren't paid for 6 months. Their wages were already probably around $4 a day in one of the world's most expensive countries, leaving them with no way to ever fly back home. And on top of that, they most likely had their passports taken at the border and were effectively locked into slum housing, surrounded by armed guards who escort them to work every day. Oh, Oh, and this is all in 45-degree heat. So rightfully, they were a bit annoyed when they didn't even get paid and protested this at the bus depot where they usually crammed into blacked out shiny coaches to prevent rich city dwellers from seeing the disgusting sight of lower class humans. The protest was dispersed pretty quickly, and in return, they were not paid. Instead, sentenced to 4 months in prison and, I quote, 300 lashes in public. And you'd think Will Smith would be specifically appalled by such practices, since he literally last year starred in a very emotive, harrowing film centered around being a slave who was whipped extremely severely. But no, he's
unalive someone, 300 lashes.
You'd know about it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But the worker buses, you used to see them all the time, and they weren't blacked out like you'd see them sort of like crammed on these buses with no air conditioning, windows were open on them, and they were going down the street, taking them to the migrant camps where they live out. You'll get like the big city where everyone lives, so then you go out into the desert and they'd be like porta cabins stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
So like in these camps, and all their washing was outside and all that kind of stuff. They didn't have any help or any they get food, they get fed like probably a bowl of rice or whatever, it's like prison food almost. And that they get the accommodation what they get and all that. There's no expense what they go through. They don't pay for anything.
Yeah.
So they get the salaries, and which most of them send back home.
Right. Okay.
So they'll be sending back to Bangladesh or Nepal, places like that, Pakistan. But it's atrocious the way
Sounds a bit grim.
Yeah, it's atrocious. It's bad.
Is it basically a forced work camp?
Yeah.
Like it's being made out to be?
Yeah.
Yes, it's bad in this day and age.
Yeah, it is.
literally generating money for a company that 100% proven whips slaves. I genuinely think Dubai has the highest hypocrisy per capita of any place in the world. So maybe keep all that stuff in mind next time you see an influencer in Dubai wailing that they're morally better than you because they made a deep video and carbon offset their flights. So influencers aside, I just want to make it clear how I feel about Dubai's infrastructure and architecture. And yes, Americans, before you all start crying, I am very qualified to talk about and critique car-centric infrastructure. I live in Birmingham, UK, and I can say for certain my hometown and Dubai share some similarities. Ugly, grey, dirty, smelly, inconvenient, noisy, boring bullshit. Okay? Just in Dubai, there's also a chance that you might get caught up in a traffic jam of doo-doo trucks, since the Burj Khalifa doesn't have an adequate sewer system, leading to this advanced method of CAC transportation. I bet that smells great bubbling away in the 50-degree heat. I think Dubai's infrastructure projects can be perfectly summarized by the world. A cluster of man-made islands in the shape of a world map sounds like a great idea. Well, for starters, I think this kid from earlier drew up the map actually, because what the f*** is this? I do like how they solved the Balkan conflicts by just removing all countries apart from Greece and placing Syria as a border between Greece and Turkey. Problem solved. I also love the addition of Greenland's 24 internal countries. Good to finally see some educated mapping out here. So, after absolutely obliterating any natural environments by dredging all surrounding sand into these stupid islands 20 years ago, they were basically meant to be turned into little authentic cultural showcases. But they started sinking. That's because normally islands aren't just piles of sand. Islands are meant to just be bits of the seabed that are above the sea level, also known as land, which also conveniently provides actual foundations to build stuff on. Pure sand, on the other hand, doesn't love staying in the same place, as you can see from the shifting of desert dunes, or the massive amount of sandstorms which happen every year in Dubai. So these islands have been left empty and abandoned to this day, apart from one or two that have been completed in order to ship influencers there to make the project look like a success. Realistically, having spent $15 billion making some big sand piles, the world islands have been a big strain on the infrastructure budget, have soured public perception of Dubai, have had terrible effects on the natural environment. Please don't cut to so-called environmentally friendly yes theory, spreading propaganda about the world islands being awesome.
Like this dreamy paradise place?
This is not a yes theory hit piece, by the way. I do like some of their videos. I think so many so-called influencers don't don't really practice what they preach, including me. So if any rich Emiratis trying to fly Geopod out and show me why I'm wrong about Dubai and how beautiful luxury life is, just hit me up on Instagram.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was informative.
Yeah,
quite pretty. I'd say pretty accurate.
Would you? Yeah.
From my experience there.
I think just don't pretend to be holier than thou if you're going to be an influencer. That's probably a good start. Isn't it?
It's one of them as well where when you go into like certain countries around the world, you know, you've got to understand their culture and the way they work, and then you can't talk about one thing on one side of the world and then go there and sort of like promote what they're doing without really understanding it. Don't know what he's talking about there. It's
I think that's what's happening, isn't it? People are going there, they just don't understand the half of it. I mean, people could argue that it could be the same or similar in a lot of other countries as well. Maybe
there's loads of countries like that. It's not just talking Dubai or I don't know, the UAE. There's loads of places around the world that have issues, you know, for different things.
It's a big destination these days, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's around Dubai and all places like that.
The weather's nice there, isn't it? That's what it is. You're getting the weather. So
sort of iconic sort of buildings as well, isn't it? When people see that and they want to be pictured there.
Yeah, but you've got the iconic buildings, which a lot of them are replicated, aren't they? Sort of thing. So they're made to look like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I know you've got the Burj Khalifa, which is, you know, the tallest building in the world.
Yeah.
Which is quite iconic, and the way they light it up is all, you know, it's all showing it.
Yeah,
it looks like Las Vegas to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit Las Vegas sort of style, isn't it? Without the gambling.
Yeah.
You know?
Razzmatazz, isn't it?
It's got the money for It's got the money for everything that it wants to attract people to go there. So you've got everything from. You've even got the horse racing. You know, horse racing. You've got the show. The shows that go on there. You've got all the bars and restaurants, and you've got, you know, some of the probably the nicest, world most famous bars and the restaurants you might have sort of like, you know, anchored down there.
Great weather.
And that's what it is. It's beaches and sort of like and a lifestyle that people supposedly have.
Yeah,
but it's also it's a very fragile lifestyle.
I think they've been cultivating it pretty cleverly though in Dubai, haven't they? As a destination for tourists and
it's a hub.
Things.
It's a global. They turn them into global hubs, but you know, both Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And you look at the airlines with Emirates and Etihad, the way they've done it in Qatar's doing similar. You know, they're making it a global hub. So if you're going to fly anywhere around the world, you fly with them and then you stay there for a few days, and it becomes a tourist trap as well.
Yeah.
So you've got the transient passengers coming in for a few days here, a few days there, but flying in and out of the country as well, using their hub and spoke airline service.
Yeah, true.
You know.
I know our government have to defend themselves a lot when it comes to selling arms to the Saudis and things like that, and essentially they say it's hard to enact change from the outside. You know, so we're a trade partner, and we hopefully can sway their countries to have better human rights records. And I think some of the influencers may say a similar thing where, you know, what are we going to do? Are we just going to judge from the outside? And
you sound like Jordan Henderson now.
Well, the easiest thing.
It's a bit. I'm just like devil's advocate when I say that.
The easiest way you can make that sort of like a bit more serious is whatever money you're taking to go there, donate half of it to families and, you know, people who are going through that sort of thing in Nepal and in you know, things like foundations that come across there, and donate half or 2/3 or whatever it may be.
If $4 a day means that much to people, and some of these influencers are probably making millions, then they could enact amazing change, couldn't
of course they could.
In the end, it's down basically to governments to put pressure on, isn't it? To do business with them, but to put pressure on individuals are never going to change much.
But money talks at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and it's until you sort of like say we can live without your money. You know, it's like Russia. You know, it's you look at Russia, what they're doing, and the way they've sort of like influenced the world with money. You go to the Middle East and look at the property market there, and look who's buying up the property, who's bought it up over the years.
Russians.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.